All right, let's dive into something that so many companies are wrestling with right now, building a modern data platform on AWS. We're going to demystify the whole thing and figure out how to turn that data chaos into real clarity. Let's get into it. So, does this feel familiar? You feel like you're literally drowning in information, but you're starving for actual wisdom? Companies are collecting more data than ever before. I mean, just tons of it. But for so many, it's just sitting there. It's become this vast, murky, and completely unusable data swamp. And this really gets to the heart of the matter. Over on the left, you've got data silos. That's the painful reality for most people, right? Data is scattered all over the place, it's inconsistent, and trying to get a simple answer is an absolute nightmare. But on the right, that's the dream. That's the goal, a unified data ecosystem where everything is in one place, it's consistent, and it's actually ready for you to analyze. And that right there is the modern data problem. We're collecting all these valuable assets, app logs, user clicks, transactions, but without a real system in place, they just become a confusing liability. You have all the data, but you're getting none of the value. So the very first step out of this mess is a concept called a data lake. The best way to think about it is like a massive central reservoir. Its job is super simple. Just hold a huge amount of raw data exactly as it is in its original format. You don't have to structure it up front, just get it all into one place. So, okay, let's talk about building that reservoir. To do this, we're going to start with the foundational building block for pretty much every data platform on AWS. And that foundation is, of course, Amazon S3. It's just this incredibly durable and basically infinitely scalable storage service. This becomes our central data lake. It's the destination for all of that raw data we were talking about. The app logs, the transactional data, everything. It all just gets poured directly into S3. Okay, great. So we've done it. We've taken all of our scattered little data puddles and we've combined them into one massive lake. But let's be honest, right now it's still just a giant collection of raw, unstructured files. How in the world do we actually make any sense of it? Well, this brings us to part 2, creating the library. We need something that can transform that messy data swamp into a beautifully structured and organized resource. And for that, our master librarian is a service called AWS Glue. Now, Glue has 2 main jobs. First, it crawls through all the data sitting in S3 and it creates a catalog, just like the card catalog in an old library, so you actually know what you have and where to find it. And second, it does the heavy lifting of cleaning, combining, and transforming that raw data into a refined, usable format. So let's just follow the journey of a piece of data, right? First, the raw data lands in S3. That's ingestion. Then, in the second step, Glue gets to work. It cleans it, it sorts it, it catalogs it, and that whole process creates the final output, these curated layers of data that are clean, organized, and totally ready for analysis. It's a pipeline that takes you from total mess to total clarity. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Without that cataloging function that AWS Glue provides, your data lake is pretty much useless. It's the difference between having a library where you can find any book you want in seconds and just having a giant warehouse with millions of books piled on the floor. Okay, so our library's built, it's organized, the books are on the shelves. Now for the fun part. We need a place to actually read the books. These are our research desks, where we can finally start asking questions and getting answers from our data. And on AWS, we've got 2 main desks to choose from. On the left, you have Amazon Athena. Think of this as your quick lookup desk. It's perfect for running fast, one-off SQL queries directly on the data in S3. It's great for just exploring. But then on the right, you've got Amazon Redshift. This is your deep analysis desk, a super powerful data warehouse for really complex, high-performance analytics, where query speed is absolutely critical. But, the journey doesn't just end with a query. The final and maybe most critical step is visualization. This is where your business intelligence tools, your BI tools, plug into either Athena or Redshift, and they turn all those raw insights into the dashboards and reports that actually drive business decisions. So we've gone on this whole journey from a data swamp all the way to a research desk. Let's take a step back. What's the ultimate payoff here? What does a well-architected platform like this actually give you? When you get it right, it all boils down to 3 absolutely crucial outcomes for your business. First, you get reliable ingestion. You can trust that all your valuable data makes it safely into your S3 data lake. Second is discoverability. Thanks to that Glue catalog we talked about, you can find the exact data you need in seconds, not weeks. And third, you get queryability. With tools like Athena and Redshift, you can ask really complex questions and get answers back fast enough to actually make a difference. So the crucial point is this. By combining these services in a smart way, we've built a system. We've engineered a process that takes that chaotic, useless data swamp and methodically turns it into a reliable, explorable library of actual business insights. Ultimately, every single click, every transaction, every log file, it's all part of a larger story about your business. A platform like this, well, it's what finally gives you the ability to hear that story. So the only question left is, are you ready to listen?